Hello friends, welcome to TechWay, my YouTube channel. In this video, we will see about exception handling in Python. When we do something which is not allowed in Python, that would raise an error signal which is called as exception. Okay, so how we handle this situation is called as exception handling. Here is a small example: a equal to 50, b equal to a by 10. So when I print b, definitely it will throw an error that is called as zero division error. Okay, because you cannot divide the number by zero. So this is what called exception. So it's throwing an error signal, right? This is what exception. So how we handle this is called exception handling. Okay, to handle the exception you have to use try, try. So this is what being used to handle the exception. Here is another example. I'm taking two different inputs from user, like numerator and denominator. So as soon as user enters the input, it will go to the try block, it will check the condition. If it is error, then it will go to the exception block and it will throw the error message, and then it will print the next statements. So else it will execute normally. So here is I'm just running this code. As soon as I run this code, see, so it is asking for the input, right? I'm entering 23 divided by 34, some values. See, it's dividing and giving you the values, and then it print this two statements as well, 1 1 1 and ABCDFG. Okay, so in case I'm giving 23 divide okay, and then 0, see, then exception is handled. So here it went to the except block and it checked it's a zero division error, so it's giving us the result as zero division error. Then it moved to the next line, then it printed. So actually what will happen whenever exception occurs, in which line the error is happening, then execution will stop, it won't move further. But when you handle the exception, it will move to the next line. This program is the example for that. See, in this line the error is happening, so it went to the exception part and it gave us the notification whatever we are expecting. I mean, we gave the print statement, and then it moved to the next line and print these two statements. This is how exception handling will work. Okay, so see, here I used exception. Without using exception, this much big page error will come. So to avoid this, you can use exception handling using try block. Here import sys, I'm importing sys. Why? Because I'm using sys.exist, which means it will terminate the execution of the program when error occurs. This is another example. Okay, so import sys, enter numerator, denominator, same thing. I copy pasted c equal to a by b, so it will go to the try block. If error is happening, zero division error is happening, it will terminate the execution here only, it won't move forward. Okay, so if it is not happening, then it will move forward and print these two lines. So let me run this code and I will give you an example. Give me a minute. Yeah, so I'm running this code now. I'm entering 23 and 2. See, it's giving me the normal output, right? So in case 23 and 0 I'm entering, then see, this much big page will appear. This will appear only in Jupyter Notebook. When you try this with PyCharm or command prompt, this won't happen. This is the small issue with Jupyter. So normally it will throw, it will get out of the program. It won't execute further. It will stop. That is the purpose we use sys.exist. Okay, exit, exit. And then next one is, now I have shown you how to handle a single exception. In case you are getting many exceptions, so how you handle that? Catch multiple exceptions. How to catch multiple exceptions? Here is the example. So try block I'm using directly. So try print inside the try block. So to show you how the function works, so it move to try block first. We'll check whatever we have given variable and the conditions. So a equal to 12, b equal to 14, c equal to a plus b. So what I'm doing, instead of printing a or b or c, I'm printing something which is not, which I have not defined here, printing d. So I know what types of error might happen, possible errors might happen. Either it will be name error, else it will be type error. You should know what is name error, what is type error. Okay, so and other thing, when you mention the while mentioning the class name of the exception, then you should know exactly what you are mentioning, and caps letter you have to use wherever it is required. See, name error, n should be caps, e should be caps, else it won't execute. Okay, so I'm giving two exception block: except name error, print name error; except type error, print type error. If name error and type error both are not there, it will go to the else block. Okay, so I'm running this code. See, it went inside try block and it shows it's a name error. Why? Because we are calling a name which is not defined. That's why it is name error. Okay, same thing, but I'm printing C. I want to print C. Print I have already defined. C already I have defined. If I run this, it will calculate, it will give you the output, and it will go to the else block because there is no name error, there is no type error. And What is type error means? See, c equal to 12 plus hello I have given. 12 is an integer, hello is a string. You cannot add string with integer, right? So this is what called as type error. If you run this code, it will go inside the try block. It will show you type error. It won't go to the else block because you got the result here only, right? So this is how name error, type error, it will work. So in case yeah, so here I have given one more example which is about attribute error. Okay, attribute error means, see, a equal to 12, it's just one variable and one integer value I have given. This is not a list, right? Or this is not a set. So, and this is not a string, just an integer I have. When I'm trying to perform an action, a dot append 23, a dot add 23, a dot minus, so I can't append a value in a. It's not a list, right? Then this will throw an attribute error. Okay, so this is name error, type error, attribute error. This is called as attribute error. If you run this, you will get attribute error. Okay, it's simple, same code. I just copy pasted. I'm just changing one lines to tell you I know what types of errors are available. So I know these error names, so I'm mentioning it here. What if a new error is occurring which you don't know what it is? In that situation, what you can do, you can add one more except block. Okay, there you can mention catch all. That's all. That is print statement. Anything you can give, you have to use another except. So here is the example. Okay, same thing, I just copy pasted name error, type error. So you see except, I'm using one more except block and print catch all. So this will catch all the exceptions apart from which you have defined here. I defined only two. If I run this is actually attribute error, right? A dot add 3. See, it went to the third except block and it displays as catch all. Okay, so but you wanted to know which error actually happened. In that situation, what you can do is I just copy pasted the same code, come to the third except block. Okay, I used catch all, right? Just look at this lines carefully. So look at the first line. I'm taking into 3 different variables. Actually, this sys.exe.info will give you 3 different answers. One is about which class the error is happening. I mean, which type of error it is, where it is stored. This all will give you. I'll explain you. So I wanted to check separately. I'm giving print A, print B, print C, and print C dot tblino means line number, in which line the error is happening. If I run this code, this is the output. So it went to the catch all. See, here catch all is there, and then class attribute error. I told you, right? Each and every error is a class. So this class attribute error is which class happened as attribute error. Okay, and int object has no attribute called add, right? So for B it is printing. If you don't use A, B, C, 3 different variable, in one line it will come class error and then int object. So in single line, this all 3 statements will be printed and trace back where it is stored. Okay, and then 7, in 7th line the error happened. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 7th line. Okay, so this is how you can identify which error happened. Okay, and then next concept is so what I did here, yeah, so where else block will be executed. Okay, when everything is perfect, no name error, no type error, and no other error, so then it will go to the else block. And one more block is there which is called finally block. Finally block is there in every code, each and every code. We don't know what is finally block. Okay, and it's hidden kind of. Each and every code that you execute, finally block will be printed. Why we don't use this means, if error is coming, then also finally will execute. If error is not coming, then also finally will execute. See, here I'm giving an error, so it will tell name error first. Look at this, inside try block name error, finally block also getting executed after getting error. Okay, fine. The next code example is there is no error. I'm giving everything properly, so it is adding the values and printing as 26. Then also finally block is getting executed. So what is the purpose of pointing out? That is the reason most of the time we don't use this. Okay, so this is how you can handle exceptions. And then user defined exception is the last concept in this module. Why we need user defined exceptions and where we are going to use the user defined exceptions. One example I will give you. See, Python code anyhow it will accept. Let's take an example. You created a page where user is supposed to enter a list. Okay, because you have to append some value to the list which user is going to enter. But what user did, instead of entering a list, he entered a tuple. In tuple, you cannot perform append action, right? You can't append a value into a tuple. So it will throw an error, right? So to handle this kind of errors, you can create your own class for handling the exception. So here is an example. See, look at this. Class name is wrong value is I'm creating. You can give any name. I'm inheriting from exception. Exception is the parent class. Pass I've given because there is nothing I wanted to give, any method or anything, nothing. Variable, class variable, nothing I'm giving. So I just even pass and I'm taking the input from user. Look at this line, value equal to eval input, enter a list. Okay, try block. So if not is instance val comma list, which means if the entered value, in val variable only we are storing it. So the entered instance is not a list means then raise wrong value. Wrong value is the exception name. Raise is used to raise the exception. Raise keyword used to raise the exception. That is the reason we are using raise. If not, okay, instance val comma list. If the entered instance is not a list, then raise the exception. Okay. If this condition is not true, user entered a proper list means then it will go here and it will append Python course after the list which user is entering. In that list it will append and it will print the value. And this also, because anyhow it didn't raise the exception, right? So this will not get executed. But see, I'll run this code, you will get to know. I hope so far you will be able to understand whatever I have explained. Let me run this code. So I supposed to enter a list, right? I'm entering a list 2, 3, just a small list I entered. See, 2, 3. I entered here. It went in try block. This condition is not true. So value got appended and it printed the value. Okay. So this part did not get executed. But I'm entering a tuple now. 2, 3. It's a tuple. So it just went to the try block. It identified it's a wrong value is being entered. So it raised the wrong value class, which is exception handling class. So then it moved here to exception. Print wrong value entered. So it will print wrong value entered. sys.exe underscore info means I told you in the previous code itself, right? That will give you in which line the error actually happened. To identify, we use that. See here. sys.exe underscore info, right? The same thing I used here. So it will show, see, there I have taken A, B, C, 3 different variables. Here I have not taken anything. So showing classes main, under main was main classes exception. Under that wrong value is the class name that I created. This is my own class name. And wrong value, see here, only list is allowed. So this exception, this will be printed here. Okay. And then trace back object where it is stored. So this is how you can define your user defined exception. Okay. So in simple term, how I can tell you what is user defined exception means. When the data is not suitable for our code, then we can use user defined exceptions. Okay. So that's all about exception handling. We'll see you in the next video. If you have any doubts, please post in the comment section. I will definitely reply back to you. Stay connected and subscribe. Thank you. Bye bye.